Hi everyone, I'm Rincey and this is Rincey Reads. Today I'm going to be talking about my November TBR-ish. So there are two different booktubers who are hosting this sort of like nonfiction November thing. You may have seen other videos and TBRs about this, but basically they are encouraging people to read more nonfiction during the month of November. I had already had some nonfiction sort of in my mind that I wanted to read relatively soon, but then when I heard about Nonfiction November, I was like, yeah, this is a great opportunity. So I'm calling this a TBR-ish because I don't know if I'm going to read all of these books. I want to read at least two, the first two that I'm going to show you. The other two are sort of just like, if I'm still in the mood for more nonfiction, I'll turn to these. And I'll probably be reading other books besides these, but there's a pretty good chance that those are going to be fiction books just because I like to balance my reading a little bit. If I read too much in one genre or one area, I get a little bit burned out. So these are just the nonfiction books that I'm going to be attempting to read. The first one is Blood at the Root by Patrick Phillips. The subtitle to this is A Racial Cleansing in America. Patrick Phillips is going to be at Book Riot Live. How many times can I talk about that? Apparently in every video. So yeah, this one finally came in to my local library. I put it on hold and it was finally my turn to pick it up. So I picked this one up. It was also just nominated or shortlisted for the Andrew Carnegie Award from the American Library Association, so that's really exciting too. This book takes place in Forsyth County, Georgia. This was a county that was predominantly black in the early 1900s, late 1800s, early 1900s, and then there was basically like this massive arson and lynching and terrorizing that happened to these black people, and basically all the white people got them to leave that county, and they have worked very hard to keep it an all-white county as possible. So Patrick Phillips goes through and talks about basically this event in US history that isn't really talked about very much, and talks about just how everything led up to this point and sort of the consequences since then, I believe. So really looking forward to this. I've heard really good things about it. There's also blurbs on here from Brian Stevenson, who wrote Just Mercy, as well as John Lewis. So yeah, really excited for this one. This one is like literally top priority right now, like I'm going to start this tonight type of thing. Next up I have A Ballad of the Whiskey Robber by Julian Rubinstein. I got this book a long time ago and it's just been sitting on my TBR shelf forever, but I'm finally going to get around to it because I have been clearing out my TBR. There will be a video about that coming up eventually. And this was one where I almost got rid of it, but then I was like, oh, it's Nonfiction November. This can be my nonfiction book for the month. So decided to keep it. I will read it. I heard it's sort of like crazy and wacky sort of true crime story. It follows this guy named Attila Ambrus who in the 1990s was playing on a hockey team in Budapest, and while he was also playing on this hockey team he was also a bank robber, and apparently like the detective who was trying to find him learned all of his skills from watching Columbo, and it's supposed to be just a totally insane story that if it was fiction no one would believe that it actually happened, but it's a nonfiction true crime story. So this one will be nice because it sounds a little bit more fun and a little bit lighter. The other one sounds a little bit heavier. So this one will be sort of like a nice balance to the other nonfiction book that is going to be a lot darker and heavier. And then the other two books are two books that have been on my TBR forever, and I think I've put this on like every readathon TBR as a potential read, but they are my two George Orwell books. I have Down and Out in Paris and London and Homage to Catalonia. This one follows his time living in Paris and London while not having very much money, and this one follows his time after the war while he was living in Spain and sort of like his own disillusionment with the news and journalists and things like that. So I love George Orwell's writing, and I've had these forever because I want to read more of his nonfiction. I've never read any of his nonfiction outside of like occasional articles and essays and things like that. So these two are on my list. Hopefully I do get to them, even if I don't get to them in November, hopefully December, because yeah, I just feel like I've been putting these off for too long and I don't want to give them away because I do want to read them. So yeah, that is my quick Nonfiction November TBR. If you read any of these books, definitely leave a comment down below letting me know what you guys thought of them, or if you are participating in Nonfiction November at all, definitely let me know down below which books you have picked out. To participate in Nonfiction November, all you have to do is pick at least one nonfiction book. Like, the point is just to read more nonfiction. You don't have to make your TBR all nonfiction. So yeah, that's all I have for now. Thanks for watching.